Today I'm at a market in Italy where they're selling these wool coats and fur coats and leather coats at reduced prices. It's kind of one of those markets where everything's really cheap, and I just wanted to film these individuals here to let you know that they had lives, they had families, and they wanted to live. These animals used for fur, like mink, foxes, and rabbits, they're bred in tiny, filthy cages where they endure a lot of suffering for their entire lives. They're often driven insane by confinement, endless pacing, gnawing on cage bars, or mutilating themselves in desperation. These animals who would naturally roam miles in the wild, well, they're denied every basic freedom and natural behavior. Many of these animals are killed brutally, such as by anal or vaginal electrocution to avoid damaging their pelts. These methods are excruciating and often leave animals fully conscious as they die, writhing in unimaginable pain. Some are even skinned alive. Their suffering is dismissed as collateral damage for profit. I wonder who this was, and who this was, and who this was. Wild animals like coyotes are caught in steel jaw traps that clamp down on their limbs with immense force. These traps that are set up in the wilderness often leave the animals to endure prolonged suffering before they're killed. Many of these animals even chew off their own limbs in desperate attempts to escape, only to die later from infection, blood loss, or predation. Some of the animals caught are mothers, desperately trying to get home to nurse their babies, and their babies will die waiting in the cold because their mothers will never return. Leather is often wrongly labeled as a byproduct of the meat industry, when in reality, the leather industry profits from and directly supports slaughterhouses. Animals like cows, goats, and even dogs are killed specifically for their skins, perpetuating a cycle of violence and exploitation. The demand for leather ensures that animals continue to suffer and die needlessly. It's also bad for the environment. Tanning leather requires heavy chemicals like chromium, which are not biodegradable and contaminate the soil and waterways. These chemicals poison local ecosystems, killing aquatic life, and making water sources unsafe for human consumption. The toxic waste from tanneries often leads to long-term environmental devastation. How many animals died for this coat? How many? Dozens and dozens. This is horrible. When you see so-called famous people wearing fur, ask yourself if they really deserve all the admiration that they get, whether they're a football star or a rock star or a model. They have contributed to a lot of suffering. The vast majority of these people know what goes on, but they just don't care, and yet their fans keep giving them more and more money, instead of really just looking at them and saying, hey, you can do better than this. You can be kinder. Rivers near tanneries, especially in places like India, are often polluted with carcinogenic dyes. That means they cause cancer, heavy metals, rendering water sources undrinkable and killing aquatic life. Entire communities suffer from health issues like cancer and skin disease due to exposure to this contamination, creating a public health crisis. People will try to tell you that leather is natural, but it isn't. I mean, not on us. Fur is for beautiful animals and ugly people. India is a strange place. You see, in India, they portray cows as sacred, yet millions are slaughtered annually for leather, often after enduring illegal transportation and horrific abuse. The leather that you wear on your shoes, on your back, or even maybe as a handbag, was a cow crammed into an overcrowded truck. Sometimes they even break their bones during the transportation only to face brutal slaughter. The hypocrisy of the Indian people underscores how profit often takes precedence over ethics, even in cultures that claim to revere animals. But we're not going to just address one country or one nation, because it is, after all, Americans and Canadians and Europeans who buy those products. If we think about greenhouse gas emissions, while both leather and fur production contribute significantly to climate change through methane emissions from animals and the energy-intensive tanning process, these industries, they exacerbate the climate crisis, contradicting any claims of sustainability. Choosing alternatives to leather and fur can help reduce the overall carbon footprint of human consumption. And humans are also suffering. Workers in leather tanneries are exposed to toxic chemicals daily without proper protective equipment. Many suffer from chronic illnesses such as cancer, skin disease, and respiratory problems as a direct result of their labor. These workers are often from marginalized communities, highlighting the industry's exploitation of both humans and animals. Some people say vegans should care more about humans, but we care about both. Vegans don't want anyone to suffer, but animals are the greatest victims, and we must always remember that they are not objects. They're not here for us. They're here with us. They should not be enslaved or used in any way.
Why are there dead bodies here? Is this a cemetery? Why are there so many corpses here? Where is everyone's empathy? Why is there so much death in the store? Why do you think you need to buy it? Why is there so much death? Is this a morgue? Is it time to be vegan? Is it time to try it? Why are there dead bodies here? Is this a cemetery? Why are there so many corpses here? Where is everyone's empathy? Being vegan is healthy for all ages, and yes, even our dogs can be vegan too. Please can we walk away from this place of death? Please can we try something new? Why are there so many corpses here? Where is everyone's empathy? Why is there so much death in the store? Why do you think you need to buy it? Why is there so much death? Is this a morgue?
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
Is it time to be vegan? Is it time to try it?
Yes, it's time to try it.